So in this video we're going to talk about the difference between actual yield, theoretical yield, and percentage yield. So let's just use the same equation that we've been using. Why not, right? So it's the Haber process, so let's just draw it in here. We have hydrogen gas. We're going to add hydrogen or react hydrogen gas with nitrogen gas. Here we go. And then we're going to get the product of ammonia. We have NH3. NH3 gas. Awesome. And remember, we have to balance this, so we have a 2 here and a 3 here. Okay, perfect. So what else should we talk about? Let's use actually the same numbers that we've been using. So let's say we're going to react 50 grams of hydrogen gas. We're going to react that with 150 grams of nitrogen gas. Okay, perfect. So now what we're going to talk about down here is, here, let's go down here. So say we did this experiment and we got some value. So this is going to be our actual yield of, in a lab setting, what we actually get. So let's just write that here. Actual yield. Okay, so we've done this experiment. We started with 50 grams of hydrogen gas and 150 grams of nitrogen gas. And let's say experimentally we actually got 170 grams. This is what we resulted in our experiment. This is 150 grams of ammonia, or NH3. There we go. So what we actually get is our actual yield. Makes sense, right? Okay, so that's cool, but now let's move on. Let's talk about our theoretical yield. I don't know if you've seen the video before this, but if you haven't, you should go check it out. You know what, here, I'll put this button here. If you just click here, click here, click here. Okay, perfect. So click this button here. You can go back a video and see what I'm talking about. But anyways, so we know that, well, let's see, if we combine these, what would we get? We're not actually going to get 170 grams. So our theoretical yield is what we should be getting using the stoichiometric coefficients. So let's just write that here. Theoretical yield. Okay, so if we just did this problem, we know from before, watch this video, that the nitrogen here was the limiting reactant. So we can start, here, let's just do it in black so we're all caught up. So if we start with 150 grams of nitrogen gas, remember, 150 grams of N2, then we multiply that times the molar mass of nitrogen, so we'd get 1 mole of N2. And again, remember, we're rounding these numbers, so this is over 28 grams of N2. Okay, so then we multiply times the molar ratio, so we get 2 moles of ammonia, NH3. This is over 1 mole. 1 mole of N2. Okay, perfect. And then lastly, that's N2. And then lastly, we multiply by the molar mass of ammonia, and we get, this is 17 grams of ammonia over per 1 mole of ammonia. Okay, NH3. And I just ripped through this pretty quick. That's because it's actually done in this example here. So we've already talked about this. But anyways, this gives us the answer of 182 grams of ammonia, NH3. Okay, so this is what we were talking about before. This value here, 182 grams of NH3, is theoretically what we should be getting if we combine 150 grams of nitrogen gas with 50 grams of hydrogen gas. But sometimes in an experiment we don't have optimal conditions or something like that, so we're not actually getting this perfect 182 grams. So in this case, our actual yield was 170 when we thought we would be getting 182. So this leads us to the next one. The next thing that we're talking about is percentage yield. Let's change colors. We'll say, we'll write it here. Percentage. That's going really slow. Percentage yield. Okay, you got the idea. So what percentage yield is we want to say basically what the percent, how close to the theoretical yield were we? Well, so we would write it like this. We write the actual actual yield, I'm going to save some time and not write yield, over the theoretical. Theoretical. There we go. Okay, perfect. And then we multiply this by 100% to see what our answer is, to see what our percentage yield is. So if we plug in our actual values, let's switch back to black again. So we had 170 grams as our actual. So we can say this is equal to 170 over a theoretical yield, which was 182, times 100%. 100%. And so our percentage yield that we're going to get, you just whip out your calculator and do this, we will get 93.4%. 93.4%. So there you go. These are 3 different ways to talk about yield. We have the actual yield, theoretical yield, and percentage yield.